You were not born just to exist, go through routines, and eventually fade away. You were designed with a purpose, a divine blueprint that was placed inside you before you ever took your first breath. Everything in creation has a reason for being, from the sun that gives light to the trees that provide oxygen. Nothing exists without a purpose, and you are no exception. The problem is that many people live their entire lives without ever discovering why they were born. They drift through life, conforming to expectations, settling for mediocrity, and ignoring the potential that lies dormant within them. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It is living without ever knowing why you are here in the first place. Your purpose is not something you create. It is something you discover. It is already inside you, waiting to be awakened. But the old version of yourself, the version shaped by fear, doubt, past failures, and the limitations others placed on you, must die before your true self can emerge. That old version is comfortable, predictable, and resistant to change. It prefers the safety of the familiar over the risk of stepping into the unknown. Yet every great person who has ever walked this earth had to make a decision to reject their old self in order to embrace the future they were meant to live. Your greatest enemy is not the devil, not other people, not the circumstances around you. It is the old version of yourself that refuses to move forward. It is the voice inside you that whispers, "You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. Stay where you are. It's safer here." That voice is not your friend. It is the assassin of your destiny. It convinces you that comfort is better than courage, that settling is better than striving, and that the past is proof of what your future will be. But that voice is a liar. The old version of you thrives on fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. It reminds you of every mistake you've ever made and uses your past as a weapon against your future. But if you keep living based on who you used to be, you will never step into who you were meant to become. You cannot hold on to the old and expect to walk in the new. A seed must die before it becomes a tree. A caterpillar must let go of its form before it becomes a butterfly. You must be willing to bury the old version of yourself so that the real you, the powerful, unstoppable, purpose-driven you, can rise. The battle is not external, it is internal. Until you win the war within, nothing outside will change. You can change your surroundings, change your job, change the people around you, but if the old you is still alive, you will always find yourself in the same cycle. Transformation does not happen by accident. It happens by decision. The moment you decide that the old version of you no longer serves you, that is the moment your real life begins. Comfort is the greatest enemy of progress. It feels good. It feels safe. And it makes you believe that staying where you are is the best option. But the truth is, nothing great has ever been achieved inside the walls of comfort. Every person who has ever accomplished something significant had to step beyond what was familiar, beyond what was easy, and into the unknown. The comfort zone is not a place of growth. It is a prison. It locks you into routines, habits, and mindsets that keep you from becoming who you were meant to be. Many people settle in life not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunities, but because they refuse to leave their comfort zones. They desire success, but they do not want to experience discomfort. They want to grow, but they are unwilling to stretch. They want the rewards of transformation without the process of change. But the reality is, every time you refuse to step out of your comfort zone, you are choosing stagnation. The longer you stay in the same place, doing the same things, thinking the same way, the more you imprison yourself in a life of mediocrity. Growth requires discomfort. Just like a seed must break through the soil to become a tree, you must be willing to break through the limitations that hold you back. It is not enough to wish for more. You must be willing to push past what is comfortable. The people who changed the world are not those who had it easy, but those who embraced the struggle, who walked into uncertainty with faith, and who refused to let fear dictate their future. Every level of your life will demand a new version of you, and that new version can only emerge when you dare to leave behind what is familiar. The greatest war you will ever fight is not with other people, not with circumstances, not even with obstacles in your way. The greatest war is in your mind. Your thoughts shape your reality. The way you think determines the way you live. Every limitation in your life begins in your mind before it manifests in your actions. If you believe you are not capable, you will act accordingly. If you believe you are limited by your past, you will never move beyond it. If you believe that success is for other people but not for you, you will live a life that reflects that belief. Transformation begins when you take control of your thoughts. You must train your mind to think differently, to reject the lies of fear and self-doubt, and to embrace the mindset of growth. The greatest leaders, innovators, and visionaries were not those who had perfect conditions, but those who refused to allow limiting beliefs to define them. They mastered their minds, and in doing so, they mastered their lives. You do not need more time, more resources, or more opportunities. You need a renewed mind. When you shift your thinking, you shift your future. Excuses are the silent killers of potential. They disguise themselves as reasons, but in reality, they are nothing more than justifications for staying the same. Every time an excuse is made, an opportunity is lost. People often say they don't have enough time, they don't have the right resources,